I am so fortunate I didn't go to the bank, borrow £50,000 and try and start a business, because all I would have would be debt of probably £49,000. Running your own business sounds like freedom, and in this day and age it's made out to be the rockstar lifestyle. But these are the parts of running your own business that nobody ever tells you. I'm John, I own a business called Murgs, there's only me, and I've been running Murgs now since 2017, full-time for 3 years. So I found out the hard way about some of the imperfections, shall we say, of running your own business. Number 1, you are the engine in this car of a business. There is no one else. There will be days when you don't want to show up, when you feel ill, you're sick, you're shivering. There'll be days where you just don't want to leave the house, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to attend. There'll be problems you have to deal with that nobody else will deal with. And that's really tricky sometimes. The forceful pressure of keeping going. You've just got to keep going. And that bit can just be so tricky because you are the racing driver, you are the maintenance team, you are the commander, you're making plans, you're also having to reflect on your own processes and what you've done and look at yourself objectively. And that can be really challenging. It takes its toll after a while of the decisions and the choices, and sometimes that weight can get a bit overwhelming. The solution I found to this was working with a mentor. Twice now I've worked with 2 different mentors for different periods of time, and that really transformed the way I ran my own business. It gave me a third-person perspective. I'd share with them what my plans, thoughts, and ideas were, and they'd come back to me and be like, have you thought about this? And it's like, no, I didn't think about that. That's brilliant. And I'd always come away from these meetings absolutely buzzed. It was like a top-up of motivation. It was like a full reset. It was fantastic. So, yeah, it's really challenging to run a business by yourself and keep showing up and keep doing it. But at the same time, that's how you build something special, right? You've got to be a little bit obsessed. You've got to turn up on the days where you don't want to. I mean, there's a line that I use a lot. You can have any day off. You just can't have every day off. And then again, there's some days that are just not optional. You know, this morning, Saturday morning, it's currently 8:08 in the morning. I've got work to do. I've been here for 2 hours and there's just things that need doing. Same again, tomorrow's Sunday. I'll be going to an event, packing, getting everything sorted. I'll be there for 8 a.m. and probably leave about 1. So, yeah, you've got to attend, and it can take its toll sometimes. Number 2, stress is a feature, not a bug. I'm a big believer that stress is not optional running your own business. Things will always go wrong, and it's not a case of if, it's when. Things can go wrong on good days or bad days, and all days in between. A great example, middle of last week, I was designing some ads, I was doing some work, and I saved something onto the main hard drive for Murgs, and it crashed. I've never had a hard drive crash, ever. I've heard about it, I know it's a thing, but at the same time, I didn't think it would be me, and everything from my business is on this hard drive. Everything. I don't have it now. I had to send it off to some sort of data recovery place because there's photo shoots, there's documents, there's everything for the business, all the branding, the logos, just everything. So things will go wrong, absolutely. And it's really easy to, well, I do. I move through business thinking, this will be fine. Like, we'll just get this done, we'll get that done, we'll keep going. But then you get hit with a roadblock. And it's like driving down the motorway and hitting a speed bump. Sometimes you're like, wow, I guess I was cruising at quite a speed to then be suddenly stopped. And it can be a real nightmare. Another one, when we've done pre-orders in the past and product launches. One time I did a pre-order of products and it was due to arrive for, say, the 1st of the month. And I'd done this pre-order like 2 or 3 weeks prior because the stock was due on about 2 weeks before launch. It got delayed by 3 weeks. It didn't come. It didn't arrive. I had so many furious emails saying, where's my stuff? And I was like, on one hand, I'm like, get a grip. It's only a week late. And on the other hand, I'm like, I get it. I did say that it would be here for now. but I wish I could show you the behind the scenes because this didn't go to plan and this wasn't what I wanted. So yeah, there's always a curveball just to fly out of nowhere and hit you right in the face. Number 3, you will want to quit. You will absolutely want to quit because it's really bizarre. You run this business, it's completely optional. This is a choice that we have made to run a business, to do this as a career. Nobody's holding a gun to my head, apart from me sometimes, but you will want to quit. I want to quit all the time. And it comes and goes in waves, in the same way that the good will come and go in waves. You'll have a couple of months where you're like, wow, this is what running a business is like. This is great. We're doing fantastic. Things are working. There's not many problems. We seem to be managing. And then, like you say, a hard drive breaks or stock gets lost or stock's wrong or, there's a problem or you get a big bill. And there are times when I'm sat here in this little tiny office thinking, what am I doing? Like, I could literally make more money. I'd be less stressed. Okay, I wouldn't have the same time flexibility. But if I worked for someone else, there's a little tiny part of me that thinks that is just easier. It really is. I stay in this because I'm an eternal optimist. I'm really positive about what could be. And I just keep looking forward to the future for when things improve. And they just come and go in waves. They do. It's challenging. You've just got to keep going. The thing I do when I want to quit is I change, I pivot, I do something else slightly different. If I come in one day and I'm trying to make some ads and it's just not working and I'm like, swap tasks, change tasks, do something that's fun within the business. I always go to learning. I'm learning new software at the minute, like Figma. There's loads of other different things you can pivot to stay on track, but not have to grind through it. Because the grind is hard. It really is hard. And yeah, that's my best advice. It really is. That's my best advice. When I'm stuck and I'm doing something where I'm like, this is awful, I like to pivot. The big overarching, I want to quit, is also very true. But for me, I had to do a bit of a side quest, do other things. For me, I like to express myself in YouTube videos. I like to educate and share and teach others about the running of a business and the reality of it, not the Instagram version, the reality of it. And you only fail when you quit. So stick it out. Just keep going. Number 4, you don't always get out what you put in. You don't always see the results of your work. It's really bizarre, and it's something that my mind doesn't like. My mind likes to see the work I'm doing. I used to work in engineering. I've worked in engineering for 13 years, and I'd make stuff out of metal. I'd come in one day, there'd be a giant lump of metal there, and it was like, here's a technical drawing, make this. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So you start down, you break it down into little component parts, and it's like, right, you start machining. But at the end of the day, when you walk away, that block of metal is different than when you started. If not, it is set up. It has progressed visually. Like, it's quantifiable, it's trackable. I can see that it's different. Whereas when you run your own business, you can come into work and you can have a fantastic day. You can do from 8 till 6 and you're on it. You're on a mission, because sometimes these days come and they can be great. Never squander a fantastic day. And you'll just get going. You'll be smashing through it all day. And then you look on the website, and if there's not been many sales, it can be really disheartening. It sometimes is. It's a big problem of mine to keep checking the sales just to have a look. Oh, how are we doing? How are we doing? A snapshot within a few hours is not a snapshot of a business. That's like watching one afternoon of a married couple and being like, right, I'm going to make my mind up on how their marriage is going. No, that was either a bad day, a good day, or just a day. And I find myself getting into the weeds too much and looking at the micro. And there are also days where you come to work and it's a bad day. You've done nothing, you've done very little, things didn't go to plan, things broke, things were late. And you'll look on the website and you'll have sold thousands worth of stuff. And that's a real strange paradox. It's like, wow, I didn't put the effort in on the micro scale, talking one day, but look what's come out. When in reality, when you take a step back, the effort that you put in months ago is resulted in today's sales, or this month's sales, or this quarter's sales. So I really struggle with not visually seeing or being able to quantify what I've done. I find that really challenging. You come to work and you do things hoping that they work later. And without that eternal optimism, I think I'd struggle a bit more. Number 5, the internet will give you a false idea of what running a business is like. Too many people out there like to share their successes with nothing else. You know, people just show the wins. And half of the wins, if not more, are probably fake and lies. Half of the wins might be very real, but their circumstances are not comparable to yours. Comparison is the thief of joy. It really is. If I want to look up to someone else who's doing $1 million a month, and I'm like, we're only doing 30,000 or 50,000 or even 5,000. We've all been there. We all get through that stage to progress. And it's like their situation will be totally different to yours. They might have. I used to work in sales. I did 9 months selling engineering tools just before, in the past. And there was a company across the road called Coffee Brothers. And as far as I'm aware, there was 2 youngish lads, I don't know, 20s or 30s, driving some really nice cars. Brand new Teslas and Mercedes AMGs and some really nice stuff. And I always looked out the window and I could see their unit across thinking, wow, that's what I want to do, run my own business. Look at all the things they've got going. Anyways, while I was doing this job, I got a bit nosy and thought, right, I wonder what the backstory is. How did this work? I looked it up, and their father once sold a business. I believe he did some sort of coffee wholesale, sold the business. And then, of course, the lads now have access to liquidity and funds. Of course they do, because if I ever sell Murgs, I'd like to make sure my daughters get a good chance at doing what they want. But for me to compare myself to them is not even reasonable. It's not. We always compare up, but comparing down as well, that's also another avenue. But social media, it's just a lie. Most of it's just a lie. And most of the people that have made money on social media have made it from telling you they know how to make money, therefore selling you a thing, showing you how to make money. I always think this, if somebody's actually making 100,000 a month and they're going to sell you this trick or this hack or this system, why? Why would they do that? It's never made sense to me. I'm like, if you're making 100,000 a month in take-home pay, profit from your course, from whatever, why would you then be selling that to me? Would you not be working on the business to scale that up to 120,000 a month? But it's more profitable to sell shovels in a gold rush than it is to mine for gold. So I just want you to be mindful about what you see on the internet, because a lot of it is just fakery and nonsense. It's all artificial and made up. And like I say, you don't watch Breaking Bad and think, wow, that chemistry teacher's crushing it. I want to be like him. No, you watch Breaking Bad and go, this is pretend. But we don't think that on the internet because it's disguised as real. So that's it. That's 5 quick things that are really challenging when running your own business that nobody ever seems to show you. It's deceptive. It's hard. But the thing is, I've been doing this now for 8 years. Yes, 5 of them were when I had a normal job. But to me, that was the most sensible and logical way of doing this. I am so fortunate I didn't go to the bank, borrow £50,000 and try and start a business, because all I would have would be debt of probably £49,000. That's it. I just have to be paying that back. And when you start out, you don't know enough. Consider it like an entrepreneur apprenticeship. You know, when you're starting your business, think yourself lucky that you don't come home and have $1,000 on day one, because that'd be chaos. You know, sometimes too quick of growth can kill a business because of cash flow and taxes and VAT and people and all that. So I'm not saying don't aspire to start or run a big business. I'm just saying start out somewhere that's realistic. Forget all the fakers, forget all the nonsense. Just keep going, stick at it. It takes years and years and years, but so does everything worth having. There is no shortcut to any place worth going.